me, Joe Knows Money, with a special edition of House Flipping, granting total access to what it takes to flip a home. So this just isn't one of your situations where you're talking about you do this and you get rich quick, but we're actually gonna take you inside so you get an opportunity to learn from a professional, right? So my special guest today is Tabaris, and he is gonna share with you how he got into the flipping real estate business as well as becoming an investor, but also what it truly takes in order to flip a house and do it in a profitable manner. That's why he has an education site called Real Estate Profiting. So we're gonna get into that and more. Stay tuned. When you, I imagine it starts at your kitchen table or your office or wherever else, what are you looking for initially to say, this is even worth my time to go out and maybe put boots on the ground to get a closer look?
When it comes to fix and flip deals, if the entire thing can be purchased and rehab at 65% of the value, I'll do that deal all day long, every day.
Do you look at the after repair value?
After repair, absolutely.
And then you say if you can do everything for 65% of that price?
Absolutely.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so, you know, because prices have kind of changed these days, and that number doesn't, you don't always get that 65% number, but you know, if you can be between 65 to 70% of, you know, ARV, which means after repair value, then you should be in a good position, right? Because that means you essentially have 30 to 35% margin, you know, of profit, that, you know, also your selling expense comes out of that. You know, so you should be good. How
does that differ? Or maybe it's a different way of looking at the same thing, where you take the after repair value, hopefully you can purchase it for 70% of that minus the expenses of rehabbing it, right? Is that a quick formula to figure out if it's even worth looking at?
I'll take this property, for example. I would look at it, determine what the ARV is. Obviously, in order to do that, I have to know what the values are in the neighborhood, like in the community, that wherever that house is. I need to know how much our property is selling for in this area.
And you go to places like Zillow, Redfin, stuff like that to see recently sold over the last 6 months within a certain area.
So I start at Zillow, right? Again, I have relationships with several realtors, and because of all the business that I do, I have access to the multiple listing service.
Gotcha.
Okay, you know, it's kind of a trade-off, right? So I start at Zillow. If the numbers look good on Zillow, because Zillow's numbers, you know, they're not 100% accurate, right? They give you estimates. They call it a zestimate, right? But I start there. If the zestimate is favorable, then I go to the MLS, right? And you could go to like Realtor.com, the same properties that are on Realtor.com on MLS. You may not be able to get, you know, comparable data, like sales data. But if you have a relationship with the realtor, tell him or her, look, do a CMA for me, which stands for Comparative Market Analysis. Every realtor know exactly what that is. That's just basically, they're gonna go on the MLS system, they're gonna do a search within a mile radius or so of the house and show you everything that has sold. And MLS tells the real story, because you will see what has sold over what period of time, how many days it stayed on the market, you know, before it sold, you know, A, B, and C. If it checks out on MLS, then it's just a matter of like, okay, let's negotiate.